Hey, Bobby here with another episode of the Bobby Experience. Thought I'd kill two birds with one stone. I just got done doing a jog. Haven't jogged for months. Been doing some walking though, and I'm just finishing off today's exercise with some walking back to my apartment. And I thought I would do an MMA video. It's been a little while since I've made one, and I thought I'd talk about some recent MMA news, and two MMA fighters I'd like to focus on now is Jon Jones and Brock Lesnar, who've recently been talked about. Jon Jones just had his sentencing with the California State Athletic Commission, and looks like he's been suspended, or had a revocation for 1 year. So things aren't looking good for him. You know, when I think of Jon Jones, I think of wasted potential. And some people who aren't fans of him just laugh it off and think, well, he's just getting his just desserts. And some of us who have been fans of him may think the same way, but I think there's a lot of us too that are just disappointed, because we see somebody here who is arguably the best, light heavyweight fighter there is, that's been unbeatable, where no one can beat him. Not Daniel Cormier, not Rashad Evans, not Lyoto Machida. The list goes on and on as the who's who of who Jon Jones defeated. And he's had this unorthodox style and very unpredictable spinning back fist. His kicks, he's unlike any other MMA fighter who has graced the octagon. Perhaps Anderson Silva is someone else who he can be compared to and be in the same sentence. But for the most part, Jon Jones, we could have said that he's the best, or could have been the best. But it's his antics, the things he has done outside of the octagon that has led to his career demise. And USADA has yet to give their sentence, and he can very well be out of mixed martial arts for what I think is like a good 6 years. And his career could very well be over. I mean, to come back when 6 years older than he is now, and Daniel Cormier will have been long retired by then, so there definitely wouldn't be a third fight with them. And this is just simply disappointing, because I think about what could have been. I mean, how much longer could that streak could have lasted? Who could have beaten Jon Jones? And there could have been the potential for him to even go up to heavyweight. And when he got off the mic after defeating Daniel Cormier for the second time, he called out Brock Lesnar. And we could have had that super fight. Brock Lesnar, who I'm going to talk about too, also. So it makes me think also about how, we as people, I mean, how so many of us can sabotage our potential, the good things that we can do for ourselves and for other people as a whole, when it comes to things like, drug use, alcohol, all the troubles that come along with it, where you can lose your career, and it destroys your reputation and how reliable you can be professionally. So this is it's not looking good for Jon Jones. And we have yet to see how long he'll be out of MMA and the likelihood of him ever coming back. I'd like to see him return, but the more I hear, the less likely it seems that we'll ever see him in the cage again, which I think is sad. So going on to news about Brock Lesnar, Dana White has said there is a very, very, very good chance of him coming back to the UFC. Said it 3 times. And I wonder who in the top 5 heavyweights can he be able to beat, go toe to toe with. And Stipe Miocic, he's a pretty well-rounded guy. I think he'd be able to stop, Brock's takedowns, end up having this fight standing, keep it standing, and give Brock some trouble. Francis Ngannou, he could have some good takedown defense, probably not as well as Stipe, but it's the power in those hands. And if we've seen how Brock reacts when it comes to, fighting Shane Carwin, the way he turtled up and the way he reacted when Cain Velasquez got his hands on him, that could be a lot of trouble. But I think about his last fight with Mark Hunt. Even though it did end up being a no contest after it found out that Brock was under the influence of some PEDs. And what am I saying, influence? He got tested for PEDs. Became a no contest, but Brock Lesnar was doing a good job. He took Mark Hunt down, and we all know how powerful Mark Hunt's hands are. And he was able to successfully defend against his striking, which I was surprised of, for a guy who didn't compete in MMA for a couple years and coming back to fight a top heavyweight like Mark Hunt, even though he ended up having a no contest. I was impressed. That got me excited. But maybe a person who I do think that Brock Lesnar might stand a chance against is Derek Lewis. I think I see him being able to maybe take him down and giving him more trouble than he would some of the other guys I mentioned. So I think he should match him up with not the champion, obviously, not Francis Ngannou. I don't think I'd want to see him go against Mark Hunt again. But I think Derek Black Beast Lewis would be the opponent that I want him to go against. All right, so that's all of the MMA news for today. Just last thing I want to mention, there is a UFC this Saturday, as of the date of this video, where Chris Cyborg defends her title. So for more MMA news, turn in to the Bobby Experience. Catch you soon. Peace.